Shut the fuck up!
Good evening. How's everybody doing? Happy Sunday evening. It took me almost the entire time to open. I had some water. It's carbonated. It took like 2.5 minutes to get the carbonation. Like I didn't want it to go flying all over the place. I'm sitting here wondering, like, how in the hell, how long does it actually take to open carbonated water now? So apparently it's about 2.5 minutes. So hope everybody's doing well. Still getting everything in the background set up. So I've got my Ewoks in an Amazon box from like a couple years ago. So I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna do like a all Star Wars thing across the back, or if I want to kind of just take that out and not let it be a distraction. But so yeah, hopefully we get. I'm not obviously looking for anything like super big and huge, so I appreciate you guys for tuning in. It might be. I don't want to use the word boring, but it could be some level of uneventful because the key word for today, as it always is, but the key word primarily today is going to be patient. Be patient. Patient. Because there are a couple of areas that after doing the live yesterday and then just kind of looking, and then you look and you keep looking, I had to finally just stop, because sometimes you keep looking and then you'll eventually force yourself to see something that's not there. So I got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm not, I got to step away until we go live. But not too much has changed. I mean, I'll share with you because doing a live, nothing to hide, not walking away from anything. But I marked out the PM session from Friday, and then I marked out an interterm 2 to 3 session from Friday. And that's kind of what I will openly say. It kind of skewed my bias a little bit. Primarily because this interterm will sometimes dictate if one side hasn't been taken, or it hasn't been balanced, or it hasn't been what I like to refer to as equal participation on both sides, meaning like you can't see a clear imbalance from one side to the other, but it was pretty clear with a purge and a closure below and an open below. So like I said, I'm just going to be really interested to see how we open today and what the move is. And I've gotten to the point where, like, doing Globex, like if you watched any of the Globex lives that I've actually done on the channel, or even the videos, I like to sometimes target like that 6 p.m., like that actual 5-minute candle. But we'll see. I'm gonna probably be a little reluctant and hesitant today to do that. But I will say that at the outset, I had to check and make sure my head wasn't in the way. I will say at the outset that this bearish candle here is the 4 p.m. candle, and we're already inside of that. And there was a ever so slight soup of that candle on Friday at 4:05, and we've literally just been in here. So again, as with anything, can we open and pop through here and then just eliminate that altogether? Yeah, we can. And get rid of that too. So we can see what we can see. We got like 10 minutes before we get there. So how's everybody doing? Anybody have any I guess some people just call it a prediction, but you know, what are you guys' bias for the week? What are you thinking? You think we're gonna be this is gonna be a bullish week? Do you think it's bearish? Do you think we kind of just roll around in the mud for a little bit in the middle and then wait for like Tuesday, Wednesday? Actually, while we have time, let me go to, probably not going to be able to see any of this because I've positioned my head as I did when I was a kid, like always in the way. And there is the I'm sorry. You have to forgive. You really have to forgive me. I was reading and I just, I'll say forgive me, I'm sorry, and thank you, because I'm still learning that I have a great deal of self-control, because I actually just wanted to start cursing and something was like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Had that inner conversation. Don't do that. Why not? Because relax. So I was looking to see what we had coming up this week. But basically they're in here in America, there's the inauguration tomorrow. The remembrance and the honor of Martin Luther King, MLK, is tomorrow. Everything in terms of economic news tomorrow is Hong Kong. It's a Swiss German PPI. Tuesday, I'm just kind of looking at anything for the U.S. 6-month bill yield. Let's see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, the Cushing stock, I think that's AP. Yeah, it's an API for that. Not really a big economic driver. So realistically, this week, the big news is actually Thursday. And that's going to be jobless claims at 8:30. So as typically happens with me and positions taken during this week, usually I've hurt myself the week before, right? When we have jobless claims, like we'll have like something like maybe like CPI and jobless claims or something like that, or FOMC and jobless claims. Like I usually hurt myself in that week, and the following week, which would be better, I turn into Austin Powers. I'm spent. So it's there's nothing left. But yeah, just Thursday will be jobless claims, and Friday is like the PMI flash, S&P manufacturing and S&P composite. So not a whole lot, but I would probably err on the side that because of the events of tomorrow, some of the geopolitical things that are going on, I'm not saying the market's going to go crazy like we've got like all this economic news, but there is obviously going to be some drivers that'll probably be more sentiment than actual fundamental data. So like I said, I think it'll be interesting. And as usual, if it's not obvious, especially for me this week, if it's not something obvious while I'm at my computer at home, or something that I don't see in like general analysis, I'm not really in a big rush or in a hurry to do anything. And if it gets to that point where I feel like I want to take a shot at something, but I don't want to put any capital on the table, I've always got a practice account, so it's always good, even if you guys are thinking about, how much skin or blood, as it were, left on the mat of speculation this week. Just consider it. So yeah, we got about 4 minutes, a little under 4 minutes to go. Let me go ahead and perform. What in the hell? Give me that. Okay. To grab my keyboard. Put a poll in real quick. So let's see, what is that? 1627. Try to keep it 75. So I just throw a poll in real quick just to get an idea. And we can just let that run. And I mean, it's obviously it's only based on the range that we're looking at right now, but But sometimes this could be considered like the initial, if you will. So the likelihood is we can obviously finish far above or below where we open. If you consider that in a couple of minutes, it technically is a Monday open or a Globex open. So if it's the weekly and we haven't opened, we're going to at some point have a manipulation. So that's why I say we'll inevitably end the week above or below where we are. So I almost feel like this is New Year's. That's how weirdo I've become with the markets. Like, you get excited for the open, not because you want to push the button, but it's just like, you do like the baseline analysis, and you're like, hey, this or that, and then you build your narrative, and then it's not so much, hey, I want to see if I'm right. It's just like you just want to see, So, all right, less than 30 seconds. See what we get here. Trying to make sure. I keep trying to make sure my head is not in the way.
The markets are open.
Gapped up and took it. All right. So let's see if it reaches for this high. Where's my cursor, my mouse? Where's my rat? Where is my rat? Yeah, like I said, I'll be interested to see again how this candle opens. So again, this is off the table. I'm almost ready. I should be ready by next weekend to go into why I look at this candle for Globex now. I think I'm almost there in terms of like the data collection and kind of going back through to be able to talk about that in terms of like what, like I said, why I use it, what I'm looking at. So now 15 is here. And like I was saying in the recap and then this outlook, like I'm still, my bias is still short, but I'm not ruling out bullish price. It's just to what point and to what extent. So excuse me. Okay. So this will give me equal participation on both sides. 10, that was 15, right? Yeah. I'm just going to move that there so I can see. And I need to change that color, man. That's It's god awful. Can't see through that. I can't see. All right. Got about another minute and a half or so before this closes. So I need to move that back one more. Sorry. $21,600. Okay. So it's going to close in another 5 seconds. So that's your equal participation on both sides. So a sweep out here and a run below and a closure back inside. Okay. Good. Now we could actually be headed to this. We could be headed right here. And what I will say is, if we do get here, let's see. I'm making this big for me and you. Is that right at, what is that at? D8. 616. Yeah, it's going to take the sell side. The only hiccup is probably potentially here to draw price back up. Like, I know that wick there, but what do we have? Got like almost like another 2.5 minutes before this candle closes. So you might get a little bit of a hang up here. This candle actually came back into this area of fair value here. So it's technically a low. It didn't reach the consummate encroachment. So this is probably the springboard to get to this low. But once that happens, like I said, I don't wanna say, because we just opened. We're just 6 minutes into the day. I'm interested to see if we basically create fair value here. Short. I'm curious to see if we create a bearish fair value gap. I keep having because I don't want to have my head block. Y'all have to just yell at me in the chat and be like, "Hey, move your damn head. Move your head. It's in the way. Move your head." Okay, this candle's getting ready to close. And there's the fair value gap. Now, I don't know. So I shouldn't say that because the candle just opened. I don't know. If this stays open, whole lot of conjecture. I have to just be quiet. I'll say it out loud. I'll share what I'm thinking. But the thought is, if this stays open, right, and we reach this low, we can potentially, and it may take whatever amount of time it takes. We may come back into this fair value because of how it's intersecting the PM session from Friday, but rather than seek the buy side, it may sell off. Even if it closes below this level, we may sell off. And that just kind of goes back to what I was referring to Saturday when I said I was still short. When I was looking at shorts from the 4, we were looking at the daily and then the 4-hour. So fractally sitting here on a 5-minute, yeah, it looks like it could in terms of ranges and offering balance on both sides. Like, it looks like it could do that, but no. Yeah, if we inverse this, yeah, it's respecting it right now, but we'll see. So I can actually make use of this and just pull this down for now. Yeah, and like I can't make that shit up. It's sitting like right at the consummate encroachment. So now if I get some pushback from this, then yeah. Yeah, a little under 2 minutes for a close. And forgive me for being some kind of presumptuous. This isn't like for live stream. Like I do this. I've been doing it for a while. Like even when I wasn't live streaming, like I would say I would presume this, and if it moved or changed, like obviously I'm gonna move it. It does me no good to leave it there if it's not gonna be representative of what the actual fair value is. But I'm just gonna think that that's like not so much smoke signs and a flare, but I just kind of have to follow my own advice though today. Put head on the bottom right. I think is going down. I'll do that. How about if I'm just going to make myself smaller and, well, that's going to mess with the price level. How about right? Yeah. Is that better? All right. Thanks, T-Camp. See, and you did it politely. You'd be like, I don't want to be a dick. Hey, move your head. Can't see, dude. Cannot see. Move your cranium. Move it. Okay. So we didn't clear below, but let's see. Or is it the fair value down? What is... Now my head is still in the way, right? Jesus, Jeremy. Let me do it that way. I know it's kind of small, but I want you guys to be able to see like what I'm looking at. I think it runs. Yeah. Because we didn't clear here. No. I don't think it necessarily taps, but it could. Yeah. Now that I say that. Tell you what, let's
Order filled.
I'll take that out of my practice. Because I don't like, there's only really one setup that I will take before the 6 to 7 hour is over, and that's kind of just been canceled. Well, technically it hasn't been, but I'm leery of price getting back there right now. So And that would be basically that 6 p.m. 5-minute candle. So we're not really in close enough proximity for that. And then just looking at price right now, I wouldn't take this in my combine. I'd take it in this practice account though. And if it works out, yeah, okay, that's great and good to see it that way. But yeah, I just think that this is it's going to push short. I think we get down here, a little hiccup, it'll catch this, and forgive my bad path drawing, but that's just what I think based on what I see. There's that. Just trying to move my mouse and stuff out the way. Yeah, I think that was the right call. And this is from that massive, forgive me 1 second. I'm looking for, so here, I don't need that whole thing. For expect a bounce maybe from there. might be early. Like I say, as usual, I'm probably early. But we'll see. Yeah, we've got like a little over a minute for this 5 minute to close. And then we'll just have to see. Like if it closes above, then it'll likely it will stop me out. And then we'll have to wait and see from there. But what I will say is if we do get a closure back above, this is the 6 p.m. candle. If we get a closure back inside here, then yes. Not really a big fan of that though. Not really. So we shall see. We sit and we wait. Excuse me. Starting to find myself getting hungry at like the weirdest times, man. It's like perfectly fine, and now I guess I told myself inside like, yeah, it's probably gonna take a little while. Might take a minute. And as soon as I do that, then, the brain and the body kick in and they're like, well, since it's going to be a while, we're a little famished. What do you think about food right now? Food? We're hungry. What are you doing? You're not doing anything. It's going to do what it's going to do. What are we eating? Crazy. That's 580. And based on this target, I mean, probably is not going to complete anytime soon, right? So could watch a whole damn Star Wars movie before this completes, possibly. The fact that it just kind of posted up here is kind of why I'm like, I'm iffy now. Not antsy, I'm just iffy. Like it's doing the early 1990s Honda thing. The band is just tuning up, so it's taking it a while. Understandable, but yeah, not a fan. Sorry, I'm trying to work on keeping my cursor out of the way, so I'm working on that. I'm working on it. So I'll leave that poll up until 7 p.m. until we get basically to the 7 p.m. hour, and then see what you guys think. This is so the 6:30. This may pop back up. That may come back up, or it will splash down. Anybody else trading Globex or just watching? I mean, aside from being here, which I appreciate you guys for being here with me, but anybody else look at taking positions on Sunday, or do you typically wait? Like, what days do you guys take positions on? Do you wait till Tuesday? Do you do the big no like I do, which is Sundays and Mondays? What days do you guys prefer? In a trade right now? Okay. In a short? Nice. Now that if I can get a close through this, I'll go to break even. I think if we get to 35 and if there's no close, well, I guess I need to talk to the market. But just because it went through doesn't mean it's going to stay. It could literally just, be acquiring liquidity for the pop back up. So, which is kind of sort of what it looks like it's doing. But I don't know. Yeah, if we get a closure through, I'll move just slightly into profit. I'll put my little 20. I'm surprised nobody has said anything to me about that. That's watched me. Like sometimes I'll go to a risk off position, but the risk off will be like 25, $30. And I'm surprised nobody's like, what are you do? What are you doing? Like, why don't you? What is that? It's a quick run to the store. That's pocket change. But yeah, because I can't move it anywhere else for risk of just being stopped. All right, so we got about 40 more seconds before candle close. Fees. Yeah, exactly. Like that's what got me. I think was it the first? Yeah, it was the first. The first trade in my combine this month, where I don't even remember what the dollar amount was, but I couldn't even get upset. It became comical because I was looking at it and I was like, wait a minute, didn't I could have sworn but I was negative. It was like negative like $3 and something. Okay, so that's a close through. So we can go break even or just inside. Where do I want to go? Right there. 35. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. All right, so 25 before 7. This is a real wonky range right now. It just is. I'm not gonna annotate that. We know what that is. So that's basically just gonna be Globex buy side. That's gonna be the high for this level. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it just makes sense, It just makes sense. If I'm gonna eat the loss, then yeah, I'll eat the whole thing. But if and there are some people, and they're right. They are right. But because I only use one contract, doesn't matter how confident I am in the setup or what I think, like it has nothing to do. I'm always going to use one contract. So there are some people that would say, like in this position, what are we up? 535 or whatever it is. Some people would say, just cut it and take what's there. And I would say, yes, you're right. So it's just not about me saying I want to hold and see if it go. No, I'm willing to do that. So like you said, if it comes back, I cover my fee. There's some pocket change that's really not going to amount to anything on the day, but and then it will run out. Yeah. That's the one thing that I think we all, if there's ever, it's not even a gut feeling, that like the intuition, like we all know that's going to happen, but obviously we try to imbue the other side of that pendulum, which is just like we know it's going to come back, it's going to stop us and then run. Too bad we can't just always know when you're just gonna run, and then we get in right before that and just jump on your back, let you lead us to the promised land. It's amazing how that works, right? But yeah. All right, so less than 2 minutes for this one. That's a pair. That's my fair value. So, So now I wonder. So that's paired. That's a through and pair. So this should fall. And then we just have to clear here. So literally just under fair value. So yeah, we'll have to clear the whole thing. Okay. So 20 seconds before this candle closes. So yeah, this may snap all the way down now. Because if we close below and we're inside, this may just run to the low. Closes back inside. Yeah, that's enough. That would be enough. I might be able to get away with, but no, I don't want to do that. I started to say I need to just jump into my combine and take this, put my stop literally just above this area of fair value and just follow this all the way down, but it's just not smart to do. Because my thought process is probably, yeah, it's getting invalidated right now. My initial thought was we were waiting for this until after 7, but apparently that's not the case. So I'm glad I didn't have to talk to myself for a minute to not do that. Because this is probably created for the purpose of taking price down, and that's too big of a stop. I mean, I could absorb it, but I don't want to. That's not good enough risk management for me, regardless to what I think is more probable. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get stopped. We're gonna get stopped. It's not going there right now. Because I'm just looking at what time it is. So 42. Yeah, if we finish in here, and we get another candle closure, we're going back up, and this will have established basically the initial low. Excuse me. Yeah, I respected that pretty good. Yeah, I respected that this area fair value pretty well, actually. It's 550. 542.17. 47. Yeah. It's like right smack in the middle. Yeah, so it's gonna run maybe through that. Yeah, if the candle that begins to print at 6:45 is also bullish, we're coming back up. We're gonna come back up. And I'll take my raggedy $35 minus minus fee. Yeah. Yep. Because it's probably just gonna come right back here. Say hi, how you doing, and pop back up, or it's just gonna go. T-Camp, you still holding that short? Yeah. Let's see. So came back up to that. Okay. I guess Price told me, or let me know, like, I don't know you. You don't know me. You don't know what my intentions are. If it wants to go downtown, go downtown. I don't mind. That didn't sound right, so don't mind me. I didn't mean that like that. If it wants to go short, it can go short. Okay, there it is. 2158. Oh, okay. Nice. Nice. 15 in the 1 minute. You use NQ, right? You also just do one contract, or do you? I know some people that do like the 15 and the 1. They'll either scale in or scale out of positions with like 2 contracts. So. All right, this is going to close in 10 seconds. Yeah, I'm looking to see if it literally just pops above here and runs short. I'm not on the Forex. Okay. Okay. Yeah, take partials. Yeah. Yeah, it's smart. This is here. Yeah. Just all I would be looking for is, and that's ever so small, but it's subtle. Just to take this to run back short. Thinking of crossing over to futures. I'll say coming from, like, when I got into trading, I started obviously with well, not obviously, but I started with currency. I started with Forex. And what I will tell you is, in terms of, obviously no form of speculation or trading is easy, but when it comes to your fills, the spread, like, it doesn't matter the broker on that side. And I'm not shaming anybody. I still to this day have an Awanda account, which I hardly ever touch. Like, and it's a shame to say, like, when I get bored is when I actually look at it. And it's nothing crazy. Like, I have maybe like a couple $100 in there. I just literally see something, maybe trade it, and it's not like I'm trying to make the account like thousands or anything like that. It's just something to do just to stay fresh. But I can just tell you, when it comes to your fills, when it comes to like a day like today, like Sunday, if you wanted to trade today, you've got a massive spread depending on, the currency pair. It's futures is a completely different world. It'll make you feel more comfortable with taking market orders versus, currency. You take a market order, you got to be aware of the spread and everything else when you're setting limit orders. Well, I don't have to explain. You understand that. But it's just, I'll just say, like, you don't have to think through those nuances of, what's the spread, and if I get in the market, I'm going to be in drawdown until whatever. That's not to say that you can't get slipped in futures. It's just not the platforms, and the brokers for futures are not those brokers for Forex where they're going to make the commission and the spread and they're going to get it either way. Like, it's, I'm trying to remember what the term was. I think somebody described it as, this is like the gentleman's form of trading. So it just means essentially what you see is essentially where you're getting in at, unless, like I said, there is slippage, but it's not like currency. So I look at it as it's a little bit better of a return on investment. So that's just my raggedy 1.5 cent or 1 cent and 3 shillings of advice. Yeah, it's like I said, I don't want to say it's easier, but you have probably more analysis that you can work and look through, but you're looking at the technicals, the fundamentals, however you trade. You're not so much thinking about the price plus, like I said, spreads and whatnot. So 8 seconds before this candle closes. So this is going here, at least on a sell. If it's going to go down, right, we should at least get here. We should at least get there. $55 a month notice. No, you don't have to think it. It is. It is. It is. Like I said, it wasn't like I traded currencies for like 2 years and I was like, oh, the hell with that, I'm going to future. I started in futures almost 3 years ago. So I'm not quite at half and half, like 3 years currencies and 3 futures, but I'm a little more on the currency side. But yeah, you do. You absolutely do. In my opinion, we've all been robbed, but as a lot of people like to say, that's the nature of the business. But yeah, I kind of reserve a couple of comments, choice comments, when it comes to that kind of stuff, because we've seen what, like, even in the prop space, when it comes to those companies that would promote like Forex and a currency, to see the level of just, and I'm going to call it greed. I'm not going to, theft and greed. It's egregious. It really is. And I honestly feel like not so much the regulation into prop firms and like the whole, what was it? The certificates for like the MT4 and MT5 and like, yeah, there was that big what to do about, oh, well, if we can't trade on MetaTrader and, they're not giving out any more licenses or certificates, and what are we doing? And then people started moving to futures thinking that Forex was, dead in the water. You kind of, some people realize, like, when they kind of dipped their toes, if you will, into futures and went back to Forex. Some of them said, like, I'm not going back. Thank you. And they stayed on the future side. You just, you'll feel better about, price. You'll feel better about, analysis. And if you're not emotional, right? If you've got your psychology in place, if you're following whatever your plan is, when you lose, you're not going to feel like, man, I got slipped in, my fill, and that's why my stop, like, you won't have those feelings, because sometimes it's a crapshoot with currency. But I always feel like if you not so much make out like a bandit, but if you've had like a pretty big win on the broker based upon not getting the fill where maybe it should have been, but it actually worked in your favor. You know, I'm not saying that they have or that they do, but it always seems to feel like they're going to get it back. They'll find a way to get it back in the spread or whatever. There is a broker out there that, man, that might be a video. That might be another video for another time. But wow. All right, we're going to close at 7 here in about 15 seconds. So we won't get down there, but we can just, I could put this here and then just label that. Actually, I can't label that. I got to wait for the 7 to close. That closed inside, that closed inside. It's going to run this. I've been saying that for the longest, but it kept acting like it wanted to go down. But if it runs this, it can still short. So I actually may be able to put this down here because if this closes inside, it's like, I'm not going to say it's perfect, but it kind of sort of will be perfect. Because then that'll give me which I have to seriously consider sitting on my hands, but I'll finish the thought. It'll give me like a definitive contrarian position to take. It just depends. And my contrarian would be to take a long. Not to hold it to, you know, but it would be to take a long. Maybe just back into the sell side here to, what is that? That's 620. Just to take it back into here because I don't, like I said, I don't trust, I don't trust a prolonged long because overall I'm short. So it might be another one of these. I'll throw on a practice trade and just let it run because I need to see realistically, like I don't have to worry about like the displacement. But the one thing that I'm looking at is, again, I know it's early Sunday, but just how price is booking. So here we should ultimately, we can be bullish, but at the same time, on the short side, when we do break, if we continue building basically liquidity on this side, it's going to provide a low resistance liquidity run. So that's why I would be somewhat hesitant in taking, you know, even a short-term long because I don't have enough information. I have some. I have an idea after 7:05. And when the 7:10 candle starts printing and, you know, but the signal will be this 7 p.m. candle closes. It's going to close. It'll establish like basically this will be the sell side. And technically this is going to be buy side of our opening. range. And ultimately, I'd be looking to see if we basically close back short. Maybe just, I don't know. Because it wouldn't be like a true Judas. If it was a true Judas, it's going to reach all the way back up here. Ideally, I would love to see that. I just don't have a whole lot of faith in that. Not right now. I have no faith in that. And I think what I'm gonna do is, well, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. Okay, so we're about to get a candle closure here. All right. Now, do we take the sell on this, or do we take the buy on this previous candle? I'm leaning towards it coming back down, but let's see. And then it just stops, right? Oh, man. I love it. It's like it's coming down. It's like the market just went, really? Really, man? Just go eat. Don't worry about what we're doing. Go eat. I need to see if my, oh, hey, I was wrong. That works. See if I can call in the cavalry for some vittles. It's probably gonna go over like somebody in the lockjaw ward asking for bubble gum. I know that sounds cruel, but you know. All right. Well, we'll see how that goes. It's probably not gonna go over very well. All right. So we've at least established the range at this point. And these are equal highs. Small fair value sitting there. What's that price? 555. So what I'm going to do is
Order filled.
I'm going to take my position off the table. So we take our little PA account 392 and 20 cents, and we'll bank that. Because like I said, I don't know right now. I don't know. We could actually just see this because it's closed back above here. We could see it run back, and then we're literally in between here and here. So literally price could do this for however long until it decides it wants to pop out and maybe take this and close back in, and like who knows? Don't know. There you go. Another John Madden, path tool. Another special. And another one. Yeah, it's almost like it's building. Because, like I said, these are equal highs. Like price came back up and then it just stopped. It literally, I'm just trying to make sure my head's not in the way. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. I always have to look over and make sure my head is not in the way. But you got equal highs sitting here. So rather than come up and run it stopped. And then with this, like, that's not enough fair value to like really show me anything. Hell, even if it came up and paired off and closed back inside, at least, you can be something. But right now, what it looks like it's showing me is it's gonna range. It's literally gonna sit here and range, maybe build liquidity on both sides, and I don't know. This is one of those, set an alert and go find something to do. Or in my case, because I usually get up every day at 4 a.m. And it's not that serious to me. But if I just had the time, I would probably, if I wasn't live streaming this now, the likelihood is I would probably just stop doing this, and I get in this sim chair. I'd put my my chart up on my other monitor. And I'd fire up my my Moza wheel and whatever sim racing title, and I'd drive until I looked over and saw something that appeared as if price was willing to kind of tip its hand in terms of what it's thinking about doing or where it's going. And honestly, this should be enough for me. But I can't shake the feeling, right? And I know this risk management isn't the greatest, but this would be my idea, but I'm not sold on that. Now, if it delivers, then it's just, call me paranoid. I'm okay with being paranoid. I don't trust that. I don't trust it. And it's weird because I don't trust it. Arena Blackout. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I literally, I could sit and chart all day. You know what I mean? I enjoy it. I could do it. But when you're in here to see if you're able to extract or be, or have them try to, extract or extort you, I kind of want to be in and out. Now, if it takes me a while to be in to get something out, no problem. But, the playing back and forth, it's a part of it. But if I could stay beyond the fray, I will. So I'm going to mention this again. No fair value, no nothing. It's literally pairing. So, and again, that's the other reason why I keep saying I don't care how perfect, as much of a contrarian as I am. I'd be lying if I told you I didn't want to take a long here. I would be lying to you. Because this is giving me just enough confirmation that, yeah, we're probably gonna go up. How far? I don't know. Because this level gets into an area where that's where I get a little uncertain. Because like I said, up here, I'm not necessarily looking for that to get run out today or tomorrow or Tuesday, honestly. I'm looking at that buy side level as potentially a protected high, and I'm looking for shorts. So as I frequently say, I'm totally okay with being wrong. And in this case, I would be completely okay with misreading the market. Because if it's putting in bullish, it's going to be long. It's going to run that out. I'm totally fine with that. But I'm not willing to put my my capital at risk just because. And in this case, I'm not going to say that this is a perfect setup, but it could be likely. But I'm not. I have to say, I'm not interested, even though I'm kind of interested. T-Camp, Arena Breakout. How do you like it? I told myself, I want to say like a couple months ago, that I was going to try that. I told myself I was going to try it, just like I told myself I was going to try, I think it's Delta Force. I suck at first-person shooters, though, but I still said, you know what the hell? But I've never gotten around to it. So how is it? Better than Tarkov? Okay. Is it only like team-based, or are there solos, or? I may even have to get back into my Ghost Recon. When I built this last PC a couple years ago, oh my gosh, I used to play that. Oh, so you can't. Oh, not. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Up to 4 on one team. Yeah. Yeah, I was curious about that. It's not that I'm antisocial when it comes to gaming. It's not that. But sometimes you just want you want a playable experience, but I was never really heavy into Call of Duty. However, there were a couple of iterations of Call of Duty where when you have to squad up and you have randoms and they're just off doing like whatever in the hell. So needless to say, I stopped that, take your loot to get your, yeah. Constant setup. Now, when I played Warzone, I just had one pretty close friend of mine, and we just made it fun. Like it didn't matter whether or not you were able to finish number one and get extracted or whatnot. Like we do all kinds of crap. I mean, and it's not uncommon what other people do. Get in one of the trucks and try to catch somebody. They're trying to like shoot you in the truck and running them over. Squashing them in between like a building and whatnot. Like, we do all kinds of, but again, just to make it, break the monotony of the campers and the rest of that crap. You swipe a squad for it. Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of what I was talking about. Like it's gonna play back and forth. Yeah, 720. So I'm pretty sure I know what this answer was. Oh man. Yeah, it looks like, guys, that I'm probably gonna have to find my own vittles, cause my mayday was answered, but I have to put it. I've watched so many movies in my life that I have to put it in a movie term. So if anybody has ever watched or if you've ever seen Rambo: First Blood, where I want to say like his CO was Murdoch, like this new guy that pretty much left him, right? They went and got him and said, "Hey, can you go?" I think they wanted to have him extract like an asset or whatnot, and it really wasn't about the asset. Like he went in to get some information. There was no asset. He got captured and they were gonna leave him, and he calls the guy. I want to say the guy's name was Murdoch, but he calls him, somehow or another he gets him on the radio, and he realizes that Murdoch is asking, the enemy, like, hey, if you've got him, you can, you could take him out. Like, it doesn't matter. We don't need him back. He doesn't know Rambo is the only one there. And Rambo, like, crackles over the radio and is like, I'm coming to get you. So I say all of that to say I was hungry, reached out to a significant half. It was like, hey, you saw it, but there's no response, which kind of means I'm SOL. Like, I'm going to have to do it. So I'm not going to get her. I'm not doing that. But I think I'm going to have to go get my food. I'm going to have to go get food at some point. crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of call. I'm gonna have to call like what would be referred to in the military as no joy. Like it's a no go right here. I think we're damn. They're all the movies are coming now. I shouldn't have said anything. Oh gosh. Now I've got Full Metal Jacket in my head. I said no joy. I don't think we're getting anywhere. Oh. I just had a vision of Lawrence in the bathroom at the barracks. We're all in a world of shit. Joker. Oh man. Well, yeah, you guys didn't know that, but you know it now. Well versed in a lot of different movies, and some of the stuff that will come out of my mouth, some of the things that I'll say might be like movie related. But just to share something with you, like sometimes it just depends on what happens like in life. I think everybody's been through some level of trauma, significant trauma, whether it be some type of loss or, you know, that like as far back as I can remember, it's always been some kind of humor associated with something, or it's been humor in relationship to a movie that has kind of kept me up when I was, you know, scraping the proverbial bottom of the barrel. Like when I was at like, you know, some pretty rough places in life, mentally and emotionally. So that was always like the balance. Like no matter how horrible something was, it was like I would always try to lean into something that might be humorous. It'd be serious, but you know, something to kind of, like I said, just post up or prop me up until I could get my shit together. So I just have to be real careful when I do that, because sometimes it's not that I'm not empathetic, but I have to be careful when I say some things, because it can seem like it has a negative connotation based on the situation, but it's my way of just simply saying, hey, look, you know, could be bad. Like Young Frankenstein. My favorite part, well, not my favorite part in the movie, but one of my favorite pieces of dialogue in that whole thing is when they're in the cemetery and they're digging up basically the cadaver, the body that he's going to use for his creation. And Marty Feldman, it's Marty Feldman and Gene Wilder in the hole. And Marty Feldman has like these kind of googly eyes. So that by itself is already like an attraction. And then I think Gene Wilder says something like, you know, oh gosh, it's filthy. Like this is filth. And and Feldman's character is Igor says, could be worse. Could be raining. And what do you think happens? You hear the crackle of the lightning, and then it starts raining, and like he's just like batting his eye, like stuff like that. I know it's, you know, it's comparable, but you know, sometimes it could be worse, you know. But yeah, I always try to find the silver lining in everything, and if it can't be funny and humorous, then I just don't say anything. So, but in regards to what we're looking at right now, I don't think we have anywhere to go right now. And yes, technically it's still early, but I think we're literally just building short. I think we're basically just building sell side liquidity. That's all I see here. And that's literally, you'll see something like this. And if somebody else believes this to be something else, I mean, it's again, it's just how I see it. Once we got out of fair value here, right? You have this bearish candle, but then you've got this bullish candle that's going to take this liquidity and move back up. So one of the next 3 or 4 candles will probably dip back down. It'll take some more, and it'll keep ranging until it could continually push itself up. So, like this is inside. So let's see. We watch this one. And not like I'm a professor of price action or anything like that. That sounds cool, doesn't it? Jeremy, the professor of price action. I'm not. Stop it. But it's one of the reasons why when people say, oh, well, it's consolidating, there's nothing to do. But there might not be anything to do. But sometimes, like what I just showed you here, it's real subtle. But if I basically condense or I pinch this back down, it looks like it's nothing. But anybody that's been trading for any period of time, you realize what this is, right? It's literally, I'm not going to say this is one of the things that tips its hand to you, because there's still that element of time delivery and a certain price. But at some point, what did I just say? Now what to do? Let's see if it pops all the way back up, and in another 30 seconds if it closes back inside. And literally just to finish the thought, it's stuff like this that, yes, it's boring. No, there's really not anything to do, but it'll sometimes give you a hint of, okay, we're building a lot of liquidity here. There's no fair value. We're not reaching technically back into inefficiency. We're only reaching back to grab liquidity to keep grinding higher. So this one candle took out the previous 3. It's grabbed that sell side. Does it reach back again? Can it dip back into fair value? Absolutely. It can come all the way back in here if it wants. So that's why I say I don't really, there's really not anything to do here. Not really. Unless you're a super scalper and, my hat's off to you, but you go from this 5 minute all the way down maybe to a 1 minute, and then break that down to a 30 second, and you can find something that, will run based on a sweep of liquidity and a close back inside. I don't know. Let's see. Let's take this one. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to look and see. Because that's not my thing. That's never been my thing. So that was a 5. Whoop. That popped all the way up. So yeah, from a 5 minute to this 1 minute, that's a soup. Does it hold to deliver here? Like I said, when you've got chop like that, there's no reason to take something like this. But could you? Let's see. because the interesting thing about this price action, it's the same. It's just in reverse. It's the inverse. I don't see any fair value in here. But we've got a lot of... Wow. Yeah, that's just nasty. It's literally, that's just, it is nasty. Is it running out? Ran it out. Yeah. So yeah, nothing to do. Nothing to do, nothing to see here. Nothing to see. But it did pop back up, didn't it? Yeah, I don't know what this is doing. So yeah, I'm not gonna hold you guys. You're not the... Yeah, was that last year? I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. But yeah, I tried to dabble on the 1 minute, and it was hit or miss. I'm just be honest about it. It was, some days were better than others, but it was, to me, it was more miss than hit. So that being the case, it was more or less like, yeah, nah. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, nothing to do. So I'm probably going to just go ahead and wrap the stream here. Yeah, and try to go grab myself some vittles. And I appreciate you. So thanks, T-Camp, for hanging out tonight. I appreciate it. Good chat. Actually, I want to look at let's look at the poll. I did say I was going to end it, but so everybody, 66%. You guys think we're going to end above 33? Yeah, see, that's how I know I'm a contrarian. Because we're always in the minority. We're like, no. But yeah, we'll see. Cell Pop, hey, thanks. I appreciate you. Thank you, brother. Ahmad, if you're still here, thanks for coming in as well. Appreciate you guys. Not sure when I'll be live again. Maybe tomorrow. It just, Mondays and Tuesdays I should be okay. So we should, I know definitively I'll be back on probably 6 p.m. Tuesday night. Tomorrow is going to be like the iffy. Only because it's a Monday and typically there's other crap going on. That's right. Thank you, Cell Pop. Thank you. So with that, we probably will be back tomorrow night. Thank you. I don't know, it's like I know, but my brain out to lunch. I need food. That's all that is. So yeah, I'll post on a community tab or something, and let everybody know. But like I said, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Hope everybody, if you're gonna be up and into London, feel free to either tag me or go under this video in a comment and leave a link. Let me know what your position was what you were looking at. Win or loss, like I don't really care about that. Just to see like what what your analysis is and what you've come up with. So I'd be interested to see, and then maybe if you feel comfortable with it, could talk about it. All right, but you guys have a good night. Take care. Be profitable. Be safe, and I'll see you next time.